that's it. That's the review. So this is the SBF by GavinFuzzy. It is a completely custom brushless flywheel blaster. Think basically FDL3 brought into 2023 with all the new features you could possibly want. It's all designed by Gavin, completely custom. He's been working on it for years, and it is an absolute blast. It's an amazing blaster, and it is probably the last flywheeler you will ever need. So I bought the hardware kit myself from Gavin directly. It is currently still in beta, and the only way to get one is to own one of his previous designs, preferably an SBL, maybe a SBF. I don't know the details. I have both. I have multiple of both. And then you give him money, like you used to give Captain Slug money. Now you give Gavin money, and he will send you a hardware kit for the SBF and the files. And then you have to print it yourself, assemble it yourself. The build guide is fantastic, detailed everything perfectly, and it was just a joy to build. I built the entire thing on a live stream here on my YouTube channel. I usually stream Nerf stuff here. Yes, chill. Whatever. So kind of going over some of the printing of the blaster. The red is True Red PLA Plus from Inland from Micro Center. All the filament is from Inland from Micro Center. The clear is Clear Pet G Plus. The black is Carbon Fiber PLA. The orange is just the normal orange PLA. And then I have a TPU butt plate here on the end of the stock, which is just a little bit squishy and gives a little bit of extra comfort on the stock. So some of the features on the SBL, you got the main selector switch here on the side, and you have a display on the top. And when you cycle through the selector switch, one notch down is semi, next notch down is burst, and the next notch down is full auto. And then you can click into the settings here. You're not really going to be able to see that well because it's really tiny, but you can change just about everything you can imagine in the settings here. So your ESC speed, your burst rate of fire, your auto rate of fire, how many rounds you're bursting, the delay from pulling the trigger to the moment it fires. Hang time is how long it spins after the flywheels are, or after the fires, or after the shot is fired. And the spin down is how long it takes the flywheels to spin down. Low bat warning is at 14.4 volts out of the box. I'd leave it there. Tracer on or off, that's if you're using glow-in-the-dark darts. Currently I am not, so I'm going to turn that off. About and reset are the different options there. And you just turn the knob to cycle through them, and then click to select. The stock that comes in the files, and the hardware is also included, is a folding stock. Folds just like that. There is this kind of circular button on the side that you just push, and it unlocks it and swings freely, and it locks in place with a magnet, and it's fairly sturdy, but when you need it, it's very easy to pop it and for it to swing out and click into place, and then it's very, very sturdy. However, it is a standard Nerf stock attachment point, so you can just take this off and put whatever stock you like on it. I really like the slim worker stock, and the clear one just fits so perfectly with the other clear parts on my SBF. Probably put that in safe.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
But I will obviously be sticking with the normal folding stock because it is just really, really, really nice to use, and it is very comfortable. The stock is also adjustable by pulling this lever here. It has 3 positions, so that's fully collapsed. There is the medium position, and then the all the way extend position is right here, which is the perfect size for me. And you can have it extended or collapsed, doesn't matter where, and it will always lock into position because of the magnets right here. Looking at you, 1.2.
What the f were they thinking?
Besides that, everything included in the hardware is essentially everything you need besides the LiPo. This does run off of a very specific sized 4S LiPo that Gavin also sells, and I would definitely recommend buying that from him. To get to the battery compartment, you just unscrew the muzzle right here, and then the entire handguard assembly lifts off like so. and the battery just sits right on top of the barrel, which the barrel actually has a integrated bearing scar right after the flywheel cage. And it is extremely accurate. I haven't done any outdoor testing currently, but I will be using this at the Nerf Arena tomorrow night, which this video should be going up the day or the night before I go to the arena again and play with this guy. But yeah, this is going to be an absolute monster at Tactical Urban Combat, and I'm so hyped to play with it. The build took about 2-ish hours to complete. I was going a little slow, and I did have a solder joint disconnect from the main firing trigger switch, but that was my fault. I tugged on the wire a bit too hard, but the solder joint wasn't very good to begin with. So I just had to resolder that. I already talked to Gavin about it, and he said he's looking into it. He's going to make sure that all of them have much stronger solder joints from the factory. One last thing to note on the printing, I did do a fuzzy skin grip, which combined with the carbon fiber PLA makes this basically the best grip I've ever had. You are not going to have your hands sliding off of that if they are really sweaty. So it is extremely comfortable, very easy to shoulder. The included sights are pretty solid, although this is just standard Picatinny, so you can put whatever sight you want on there. It does have a couple of sling points, one right here on both sides. That is actually part of the main magwell assembly, which is printed in, I believe, nylon and comes with a hardware kit. So this will be very sturdy. And then there is also sling points up here by your controls. Personally, I probably won't be running it with a sling, since I normally just run one blaster at a time anyways. Sometimes I have extras just in a holster or whatever. But I will probably run it sometimes with the stock closed and sometimes with the back. And that's the joy of this thing, is you can tune it to whatever you want. You can customize it however you want. It is a do-it-all flywheel. It'll go anywhere from about 115 consistently up to about 160, and it can go anywhere in between. Semi, 2-round bursts, 3-round, 4, 5, and full auto. You can do anything you want with this blaster, and that is the joy of it. That does come with a price, though. The hardware kit costs roughly about $335 US. That is subject to change. This was a beta kit that I purchased. Pricing should stay the same, but I'm not Gavin. I don't know if it's going to change. Each battery is about 20 bucks from him. I bought 2 batteries just in case something happens to one of them or I run out or something like that. And shipping was roughly 30 to 40 bucks. Obviously, it'll depend on where you are. And it got to me extremely quickly. It was 4 days from the day I ordered it to receiving the hardware kit. Was 4 days, which going from Singapore to the US is incredible. I actually didn't have all the parts printed by the time I got the hardware kit. Still had to print the foregrip parts and the buttstock, but I had all the main important parts done, so I could finish it on stream. As you heard in the beginning, it has a custom ESC startup sound. It's Megalovania, if you couldn't tell. And when you purchase the hardware kit, you can actually tell Gavin from a playlist what startup sound you want. As far as I know, there's not a way to change it after you purchase it. I'm sure you probably could figure it out, but I'm not going to mess with it because I don't want to break it. This is very well engineered, very custom. There's GavinFuzzy logos everywhere. Everything is plug and play. You don't have to do any soldering besides that one broken solder joint that happened because of something I did. But besides that, it is just plug and play, and the instructions are the best I've ever seen. Probably even better than the SBL. And this thing's far more complex than an SBL. And it is just an amazing blaster. I've wanted one since I first saw it in people's FoamCon 2022 video where Gavin had his alpha unit there to show off, and I wanted one ever since. And the moment they were available, I messaged Gavin. I'm like, hey, I will throw money at you. Give me an SBF right now. And he did. So I'm very, very, very happy to have this. If you have the money for it, absolutely get one. If you don't own an SBL or an SB or a SPAMF currently, they should be releasing sometime this fall, if I had to guess. I don't have an exact release date, but if you are already a shill for Gavin like I am, you can get the hardware early from him and build one for yourself. And it is just a wonderful, wonderful blaster. I'll do a little bit more firing here for you. This is semi-auto. Just 2-round burst. It's empty. Also, got some new codas. I'm going to switch over completely to codas. I have 6 total. Right now, I'll have 12. And then here's some more full auto. Max rate of fire, this thing is... Gavin says 20. I haven't gotten it to feed consistently at 20. I usually keep it around 16 or so. That was 18 darts a second. 16 seems fairly consistent though. So yeah, and that fed perfectly fine. And yeah, it is just such a good blaster. If you have the money, absolutely get one. You really do need this blaster. It is fantastic. Yeah, that's my review of the SBF. Check me out here on YouTube. All my other videos. I should have some more gameplay videos coming out soon. I should have some more reviews out soon. I have tons of modded stuff to go over. I have tons of vintage stuff to go over. I'm gonna do an Arsenal video at some point soon. I'm gonna try to inventory everything this weekend. I have probably close to 500 or 600 blasters, but this is my absolute favorite out of all of them. So, thanks for watching, and yeah, see ya in the next video.